Welcome to all our listeners. This is Mohini Srishati from evolvebeings.com. I'm the founder, and here I am with one of my dear friend Thomas. We met few years ago in a Tantra festival, and we remain in touch because tantric field is very small, and we keep meeting probably every year somewhere around the world, sometimes Portugal or here in India. And he was also a part of the International Tantra Festival in Goa this year. And we happened to catch up for a drink and to meet back. And we happened to have very beautiful discussions around suffering, samsara, materialistic life, tantra, yoga, what is missing, how we are bringing our sharings into the world, and about also Black Lotus Yoga, which he was practicing this year in Goa. So, yes, we just thought to spontaneously bring just before he's catching his flight in next 1 hour to do this podcast. So, it's a very spontaneous podcast shoot. And yes, let's dive deep into it.
Let's.
And Thomas is a yoga teacher. He teaches widely in Europe. He is also going to curate a retreat with Margot Anand, who's also a famous and pioneer yoga tantra teacher. So yes, and he teaches silence retreats, yoga retreats in Europe. So, yes, Thomas, would you like to say something about you or?
Yeah, well, I think you shared most. I teach yoga, I teach meditation. I'm a spiritual practitioner, I guess, in the first place, a spiritual seeker. I think it's also really important actually to not think of ourselves too quickly as a finder. I think you're only a finder if you are
Truly enlightened.
fully enlightened. So I think
Yes.
I think everyone should just admit I'm a seeker. Like I'm not always in total fulfillment as potentially as possible.
Yes,
So
and also to remain humble always.
yeah. So it's an exploration, right? Like what practices work and which don't, and how are these ancient teachings and scriptures relevant to me and to students, and how are they not? And what do they truly say, instead of what do I interpret them like, or how do I cherry pick what I want to believe or read in them? So yeah, so I'm a very passionate explorer, and I've been so obsessed with my own exploration that it didn't make any other sense then to share it.
I
Also,
I so
yeah,
much resonate with these two words, passionate explorer, because this is what I think we each need to be to really live the spiritual life or the materialistic life fully. So when only we are really passionately exploring different sides of us, whether it is towards the spiritual realms or the worldly realms, we truly can integrate and find what we truly resonate, what is my truth, what is really love for us, and many, many different lessons of the soul, of the spirit, of the body, and of the life itself.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's receive some deep breaths before we dive deeper. So
Let's
whosoever is even listening, we take maybe a minute just to.
let's
So deep inhale through your nose and exhale from mouth. Welcome to make any sounds. And also becoming aware of the sounds around you. What can you hear? What can you feel on your skin? Maybe the gentle breeze or the touch of your clothes or hair. What can you taste in your mouth? What can you smell in the air? And just watching your inner landscape, the sensations, the emotions, the thoughts, present in this moment, but like a movie that we are just becoming or just being a witness, a watcher on the hill. And this beautiful practice to just slow down, bring awareness to your breath and to your senses, you can do at any point of time in your day, just to calm down and regulate your nervous system, your running and racing and chasing mind. Yeah. And this is why the silence also could be so, can pull us fully, because we wish to really dissolve into this peaceful state of our being, into this silence. And then it may feel that we want to withdraw from the world. And yeah, that all the responsibilities and role may feel demanding of this samsara and of this worldly life, and it may feel also overwhelming at times, and we may feel like, I want to go deeper and deeper into this spiritual seeking and just really doing nothing but doing my practice on the mat and really becoming a monk. But on the other side, there are also people who are completely lost into the metrics, which means also earning money, creating a life, love, relationships, responsibilities, children, and becoming absorbed into it. And that's also okay. So how these two different realms of the spiritual seeking or a seeker, and the other side is this whole offerings of our matrix and samsara and the worldly life is also there. And it may feel like north and south pole, because it's also like our crown chakra and the upper chakras and the down chakras, the root and the second, first, second, third chakra. So it may feels like north and south pole, but how also that we can bring these into integration to really live a balanced life, and a life of dharma, purpose, love, compassion into this world, because this is what is needed to live this integrated being and life. So this is what we are going to unfold into this particular podcast, from our own personal experiences, that how probably also for Thomas and also for me, there has been times when we have felt like we want to withdraw from this worldly life and samsara and just really get, into maybe becoming a monk, as you were saying. So maybe you can share on this, what was your longing and what was your learning and what was missing.
Yeah, well, I think what we're kind of talking about is this kind of like this tension, not just between like spiritual life and complete worldly life, but I think also like spiritual paths that are very renunciate, retreat into the cave, retreat into meditation kind of oriented, versus more tantric, or also the Bhagavad Gita, which is the number one scripture of India, speaks also much more about something that a spirituality that happens very engaged with life. And I think a lot of spiritual seekers, and now in the modern time, we have access to all these traditions, all this knowledge, all these ideas and methods. And now you have often this tension where you go so far exploring life with all your passion and your eros and work projects and relationships and travels and experiences, but then you find that I think a lot of people find that they also encounter a lot of suffering there, a lot of confusion. They don't know how to find their way fully in it, and then the response again can be to actually feel like, oh no, I cannot do this. This just scatters me. I need to withdraw. I need to go to the cave. I need to go to the monastery. And I think a lot of spiritual seekers are constantly kind of tiptoeing. Me, for a long time, I've changed with that, but tiptoeing between one and the other. And if you ask me about me, my spiritual journey started with Buddhism, and Buddhism is a path of meditation. The deepest practice in Buddhism is done by monks, which is a renunciation.
Also renunciation.
It's a renunciation, yeah. Monks, the Buddhist monks, you have different traditions in Buddhism. Theravada is often seen as the most close to the Buddha. It's the monks in Thailand and Burma and Cambodia and Sri Lanka. These monks have 227 rules. You know, they cannot watch entertainment, they cannot sit on high seats, they cannot have sex,
Wow.
they cannot self-pleasure, they cannot eat after 12,
Yeah.
afternoon. So you have this kind of on one side, and if you look into the explanation why, it makes a whole lot of sense. And if you even just dip your toes into it, which I did, you have immediate, very powerful results. Like the first time I went to a meditation retreat with Buddhist monks in Thailand, I had a great epiphany after 4 days. And for the first time in my life, I experienced so much peace that wasn't caused by anything. I knew peace at peak states on MDMA. I was running a lot for myself. I smoked weed, I drank alcohol. Sometimes had moments of temporary, some kind of relief of pain. But otherwise there was a lot of pain, and this kind of meditation gave me my first access into peace. And then I did for a long time just that, Buddhist meditation, added yoga onto it slowly. And then you get deeper into philosophy, you begin to think about it, you begin to explore more, and then all of a sudden you encounter Tantra.
Hooray.
Tantra, whether you encounter Tantra through like neo forms of Tantra or Osho Tantra, or you actually go straight into the deep end and you discover classical Tantra, but wherever you go, neo or classical Tantra, the idea is there to embrace worldly life and to embrace relationships. And then you go explore that. But then you also find that you are in many ways so incapable of doing that graciously. You run into so many problems in relationships. You run into so many issues doing maybe things with communities, or, you know, like it's not so easy or graceful as you might hope it to be. And so for myself, I for many years, and I think you resonate with this too, and most likely many people listening too, I often tiptoed from feeling kind of in the renunciate path, feeling like my happiness returned, to a point that I wanted to explore life again, because then it's also a bit boring at some point, and you go back, and then life is beginning to get a bit too painful for you to carry, and then you begin to think again like, oh, maybe I should become a monk. And that's very interesting, and I think that's I think that is a bit of a problem. I think it's probably something that people need to explore for some time, the tiptoeing between the two. But I think it's very important that at some point we begin to make a more solid choice.
Yeah. And I feel, as you said, that it is maybe in some initial years of life, we do need to tiptoe. And which is also beautiful, because we are learning both the sides, we are experiencing both the sides. And we can slowly, once we are learning more and more about both the realms, we can start also integrating and bringing and merging our, sometimes when people say real life, so they say materialistic life as the real life. When they come to our spiritual retreats, they say, oh, this is another world. But really merging these two also in our day-to-day life and as a practice, because meditation doesn't start just by sitting on a yoga mat. It is actually starting when we start to integrate it in our day-to-day life. And same with yoga, it is not just about asana. So it's so much more.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So yes, coming back that, for me also, my my journey on this in this lifetime, although I think it is coming from many, many lifetimes. So in this lifetime, it started when I was 16 years old. And I had only these questions: what is truth? What is love? Can a person love two people simultaneously? And when you have all these questions and deep seeking and longing, you go into this spiritual realm also. And I was still I was working, and I became a very successful entrepreneur in my former business and even now. So actually, the spiritual journey and seeking supports this fully into this adhyatmic jivan. In Hindi we say so. Adhyatmic jivan is like worldly life, the samsara. So it can in fact give more power and more clarity and more more integration into that. So it is, I think, also very important sometimes when we are juggling between two. But then there are also times when we just really don't want to do, and we are like, okay, we want to go for 6 months doing nothing. And that's fine. If you are listening and you are feeling like, okay, I want to go 6 months doing nothing in a cave, finding myself, or for a year, I think it's a beautiful time also to take for ourselves.
I think it's super important.
Yeah, because many a times we are not able to leave also because there's so much of this holding, and then we give excuses. No, I don't have money, resources, time, or my work. But maybe sometimes it's just important to sit with ourselves.
Yeah, if you have the time and the chance, I would so recommend that. I think also what I think is when people cannot even really explore this tension that we speak about is if people too quickly only try to live their spirituality in life. I think people need to, I think it will always include sometimes a little bit of renunciation to actually even have the first insights. And it's not even always needing to be 6 months, but just spend a weekend in a hut on a hill by yourself, and feel what comes up, things like that. Spirituality will almost not be able to bloom, I think, without that. Yeah.
Without silence.
Yeah, sometimes like some renunciation. I think even if you would probably look at all the ancient tantric masters or Osho, they all also did that. They lived in the world, but they also retreated. They never just lived in the world. Life is too busy. Our mind is too entertained, even more so in the modern time. Our mind is constantly entertained, and we need to kind of find a way to first still that a little bit, to see what's beyond all these thoughts.
Yeah.
To see if there's a peace available inside of us. Yeah.
Yeah, and there could be many times that either we are ignoring this inner voice or the yearning or the longing of our soul calling and just getting lost in the matrix. And it may take time for people to come back to this. But it is also important to keep coming back, or just really staying connected with what is my spirit or my inner voice longing for? What is my heart longing for? And am I operating in the world, whether it's in my work or relationships, out of this or not? Or is it just out of the influence of my peers, of my parents?
Fear or attachment.
Yeah.
Or
many things.
So many
So
things.
lost in this whole samsara, and that's why saints have said there's this materialistic world as Maya, the world of illusion. So how to really not be lost in the jungle, and to keep coming back.
I think it's a super good question.
Yes. let's go a little bit.
Because we also talk here already about the word attachment, right? And
yes.
I think this kind of big tension, which confuses a lot of people, is that many of the famous spiritual paths and books that we read, Yoga Sutras, Buddhism, these are definitely amongst the more famous ones. They speak about completely going beyond attachment. They don't even say this is the highest per se, but they kind of are centered around the truth that it's possible to be completely and totally free of suffering. That's possible for a human life. You can completely make the shift into non-suffering for the rest of your life and maybe end this incarnation. And they say that the truth is that to achieve that, you will
It
need
appears
to...
so attractive as a marketing package to end all the suffering and stop the reincarnation, because this is actually the ultimate goal for any spiritual seeker.
Right.
And when you say this, I'm like, yes, please.
No more suffering.
Give it to us.
Just one prolonged ecstasy pill.
Yes, exactly.
One orgasm for the rest of my life.
Yeah, wherein we don't get affected by the ups and downs of life, and we don't really get into the loops of our patterns and habits and relationship attachments.
Well, and you know, you have monks, they also describe it like that it's better than the best orgasm to reach that state.
Yes.
And it's also, it makes sense that monks that go deep into this practice and get more and more of the fruits and really begin to become liberated, and that see that the people that living in the world are not really getting so liberated, that they would begin to feel that this is the highest path, this makes the most sense, here's the most healing. But then we have to see that so many of us are deeply inspired, like just as I say to you, like, that sounds amazing. We are so inspired by these ideas. We read these scriptures, they resonate for us, but somehow we feel like I am not right now wanting to abandon everything, so I want to practice in the world. And here I think it's so important that we do that with more sanity, and often these books and these scriptures, like the Yoga Sutras, they don't really teach us how to do that. There is not really a word in the Yoga Sutras on how to navigate conflict with your partner. It says non-violence.
Then maybe Tantra Sutras, it's not about how to regulate the relationship conflicts, but different Tantric Sutras and Yoga Sutras, they both are so helpful.
Yeah, they are helpful in many ways, but they don't explore some of these tensions, and they also don't, they just speak about going beyond all attachment. But what people do when they live a worldly spiritual life, and this is so important to realize and to admit, and then to make the full choice, your worldly life will include that you actually will have attachments. People want to deny that sometimes, but you have to really look at yourself. Of course you are attached. You are attached to the comfort of your home, which monks let go of too. You are attached to your relationship, to your family. You are attached to your money. You are attached to the outcome of the effort you put into your work.
Maybe even to your phone. Or to your dress,
or
to the jewelry.
So we are...
and this body itself.
Yes.
The most.
So we are completely attached to all kinds of things, and I'm speaking actually about higher things, because relationships are quite beautiful, passion projects are quite beautiful, but we are also attached to our phone. We're also attached to salty and sweet food and fatty food and junk food. We are attached to sleeping in. We are attached to...
Endless. And
so
also this is why probably Buddha said the life is suffering.
Yes.
Life is a dukkha.
Yes.
Yeah? But
to kind of make this full circle, what I think is so important that we then choose is to see, if I don't choose the renunciate path, I will, per definition, invite in attachments. And that means also that I take emotional risk. Because if I step into a relationship with someone, I have the risk of this person getting sick, of this person leaving me, even though we might marry, doesn't promise anything ultimately. So, for example, or getting a child. It's an emotional risk. If your child would die, it would be painful. So, to not live in this split, thinking that you need to abandon your attachments and then try to live worldly life, trying to live it without attachments, that's like an insane way to live. And what people then also do, if they have a relationship, I speak for myself, I know what happened inside of my mind. I would then, as there were problems, I would think like, oh yeah, see, relationships are painful. They're full of issues. See, I should become a monk.
I should withdraw.
Yeah, I should withdraw. So, my work is difficult. See, I should withdraw. And
woman is pain, huh? That's why they made
wouldn't say
songs.
woman is
No
fake.
woman, no cry. They made these songs. Huh? Out of this, probably they made these songs.
Yeah, maybe also no woman, no eros.
Yeah, also.
I actually
Woman
find
is
myself.
beauty.
I find myself now at the point. Actually, I would say the opposite. If I choose to live a life in the world, I wouldn't want that with a woman in my life. I feel for me that's a bit black and white now. It's either monk path or it's life in the world with relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so this is a much more embodied choice
Yeah.
than being tiptoeing between the two. And I think that's such an important thing for anyone to contemplate exploring ideas of Tantra. And we've been both resonating with this a lot, right? Because we have seen ourselves tiptoe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, Tantra at the end, the whole teachings of Tantra, or also even Osho said, Zorba the Buddha. So he said that it is easy to live a renunciate life where you're in a cave, there's nobody to bother or trouble you, than just really being in a marketplace and being a Buddha, being in relationships and being detached, being able to see how the suffering unfolds, but really, so suffering would be there. This is what I learned in life, but how not to make it pain and to really take our soul learnings and then integrate it into the next experiences in life from that learning.
Yes.
So this is something very important, and what we missed in the life or in the relationships itself, that we keep repeating the mistakes, and that's why we keep in the loop always ourselves, repeating the same patterns, habits, behavior, our shadows, and this is where we need to keep returning back, or having this strong inner voice or the spirit activated to live into this samsara or body or this world, to really
Yes.
bring and integrate
Yes.
both together.
Yes. If you make tantric ideas very simple, this is, because it's very sophisticated, obviously, and actually requires a fair bit of study to be able to say too many things about Tantra, I think. But if there is an essence of Tantra that is like embracing these worldly experiences and learning from them, asking yourself, what's the lesson here of whatever is happening in front of me? Yeah. I think it's very interesting. Speaking about these principles, also, I think there's a lot to learn from Tibetan Buddhism, which is basically Tantric Buddhism, worldly Buddhism. And many of the teachings are very deep, very esoteric, require initiation. But some of these teachings also are fairly simple and just to be found online these days. And the idea is there very often is like you cannot go back too quickly into the road from your meditation practice. Your meditation practice has to be really strong. If you meditate a little bit, you go back, well, you will just lose whatever little presence, little strength of presence you've cultivated. And I think, or something I see for many people, that, and for myself also, that the idea of Tantra can resonate so much of enlightenment in daily life, learning from worldly experiences, relationships, and so on. But I think it's very often very underestimated how difficult that really is. It sounds amazing, but I know that it's also quite rare to meet from all the people that resonate with Tantra, try to practice it. It's rare to meet people that really spiritually thrive through that. And that's not to say that almost everyone also benefits from Tantra that engages with it, but like real spiritual power in the world, it's a big task, it's a big thing to undertake, to hold your meditation, which is already tough enough when everything is silent around you, to hold your meditation when everything is moving around you.
But that's the real practice.
That's the real practice, but it should not be underestimated, basically, how much training that can require, and how much cultivation, how much making space for your meditation.
And this is the path of Tantra,
Yeah.
as we started to talk about Tantra, it is not excluding anything or any of our life experience, whether it is sexuality, power, or heart or relationships, but how the very meaning of the word Tantra is how to weave through these different life experiences into the Supreme Consciousness and to really learn, which is the Shaiva Tantra, that I am consciousness, or the Shakta Tantra, that everything in the cosmos or the universe is divine, including me and you and everything around us. So these are the two ultimate learnings on the path of Tantra, but weaving through the life experiences and not excluding anything.
Yes.
So, and this is why in Neo-Tantric path, which is coming and originated when Osho was in the body, we work through a lot with our sexual energy, with relationships, and with the masculine and the feminine energetic bodies or the physical bodies, to really, because that brings everything on the surface
so
very
important.
quickly. Whatever we have been trying to put away in our shadow, oh no, I'm very happy, there is no problem, no, I don't want sex, or maybe we are very addicted to sex also. So or anger, forget about just sex, anger, so many emotions, anger, possessiveness, jealousy, all these are our inner demons. So how to really, process all this and learn from here. And that's the tantric path. The tantric path is really like walking on the razor's edge.
Because you're also working more closely with temptation.
Yes.
Which is so easily tips over to darkness again.
Yes. And getting lost again.
Overwhelmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is why we say if there is no meditation in that Tantra retreat or journey, it is not Tantra.
Yes.
Aho. So if the meditation, silence, stillness is not a part of that particular, whether you are also practicing a tantric practice at your home or you go to any retreat, if this is not the part, it's not Tantra. It could be sacred sexuality work. It could be something else, Western psychology, shamanic, Tao, list is endless.
And amazing things also.
And amazing, and we can benefit, but it may not be Tantra. Yes.
It's a shame, no?
It's
a shame.
Because many times people ask, what is Tantra? And people think, okay, I went to a Tantra retreat, but it wasn't. And then people complain also, and people feel like, it didn't benefit me, or it isn't for me. But so love and meditation are two strong pillars of any tantric practice.
If you go to Advaita Vedanta or Tibetan Buddhist Dzogchen, they're teaching very much starts with a kind of pointing out instruction, or Advaita Vedanta is not just pointing out kind of the whole thing all the time, to question who am I. What is Shiva inside myself? And it does that like a good teacher will very, very skillfully draw that out of a seeker with words, with silences, with meditation, with describing it so that someone can feel in their own heart, just like what's in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra all the time, the state of your natural state, basically. And I would love to see that more integrated in the Neo-Tantra scene. The pointing out instruction would be like a never missing element of the Tantra practice. Because I think because on the other hand, you see the other thing too, people go to Advaita Vedanta and they just spend 50 years in the pointing out instruction. But they never really
embody it.
They don't
practice in the here.
And their genitals are numb and their heart is dry. And it's I often walk. I'm really like, I'm always in different scenes. I'm also sometimes yoga, sometimes Buddhism, sometimes Tantra. For a long time it was a lot of Advaita, and I always think like, if all these things could just kind of come
integrate
together, that's what is needed,
because they're all so potent. Yeah.
but often all so much lacking a piece,
Yeah.
each one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be beautiful. It will be an integration as a human experience and form and what we need to bring in our life. And we were having a very beautiful, interesting conversation that what a yogi can take from a tantric and what a tantric can take from a yogi. So let's say it, huh? So what do you think, Thomas? A yogi can take from a tantric?
What a yogi can take from it. I think that yogis, if they just do yoga, they can get quite serious, maybe even stiff. I see many yogis that their heart can feel quite closed for a long time in their yoga practice, sometimes even decades. So I think what Tantra can really offer
Is the flow?
yeah, and I would say Osho Tantra from
Yes.
that can really provide a kind of quality of celebration, of actively working with intimacy in all its forms, seeing what comes up when you just eye gaze with someone, touch. How do you ask for what you want? What is your secret sexual desire that you've never expressed and have been keeping to yourself, and finding a beautiful partner to go explore these kind of shadows with that you don't disown. I think all of that is Neo Tantra, Osho Tantra practices that many Buddhists, also yogis, overly serious spiritual practitioners could really benefit from.
Also, in my opinion, I could be
Yeah, but vice
wrong,
versa.
is yeah, for the yoga
Yeah.
part, that it lacks this femininity. Yeah, which is, sensual, which is heart opening, and the beauty and the flow and connecting with our body more and intuition. So all these things I feel, yes, the yogic path is very beautiful when it comes to really cultivating strength, focus, willpower. Like it is a beautiful path. But I think for a feminine also to nourish and to blossom, the path of Tantra is very feminine, and it is nourishing the feminine and masculine aspects,
Sure.
of course, both.
I would have to defend that a little bit. I think there are styles of yoga. I think maybe people think of Iyengar or Ashtanga styles of yoga, which can be quite like this and like linear, and that can make people a bit stiff. It often does, but I think also it depends on how the teacher dares to teach it more freely. My teacher is incredible in this, created a new system called Black Lotus. I feel, for example, 2 hours ago I was practicing my yoga, and it was just orgasmic for 1 hour long. It's a linear structure that I follow, but in that structure I learn how to breathe and feel my life force circulate, and it's truly just like every second, like holy shit, this is so orgasmic, so sensual.
Maybe
Within the
if you
linear,
have to learn orgasmic yoga, go to Thomas. I haven't had an orgasmic yoga teacher yet.
but it's within a very linear structure that actually allows that. Because by doing every day the same pose, you learn exactly how the stretch becomes really full and delicious, and how you breathe into that. But yeah, just in defense of yoga, in my experience, can be very
it's good because
feminine.
the yogis who are listening to us, they would be also like, no, that's not true. So it's good.
Yeah. So I think, what about the question?
The Tantra can take from a yogi, Tantric can take from yogi.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Tantra is in itself could be very complete, because Tantra does go on the upper chakras, and the upper chakras is all about stillness and meditation, and really cultivating the masculine side. But in today's time and the retreats or the spaces, what I'm seeing is that this is missing. So if this is really more integrated, it can become, or also the sadhana, really creating the rituals, the discipline, the sadhana aspect of Tantra, then it can become much more wholesome as a tantric path. But I see that this is missing in the spaces. So, but for sure, from, yoga has so much beauty when it comes to creating all these, willpower, strength, focus, also alignment with the body, really having the straight spine. And yeah, it has so much beauty and magic and discipline to offer. So for sure, like, Tantra is a lot of energetic work, and then yoga helps to bring this energy back into the body. So this yogic and tantric blend could be like a killer. Yeah. There is a very beautiful saying from Osho. So he said, yogi is the one who who prepares the tea. Tantric is the one who serves the tea. And then he talks about the Baul mystics, who are the traditional tantrics. And he said, Baul mystic is the one who drinks the tea.
Nice.
Yes. So, and also Tantra is a lot, path of bhakti and devotion, especially if we go into the Shakti Tantra path. So that aspect also from, a yogi can bring into their life that, so these integration and merging could be a beautiful alchemy for any human to practice. So it's not just choosing, I just want to be a yogi or I just want to be a tantric, but we can learn from both and integrate. Yeah.
So I also don't see them as completely separate in a way. It feels almost odd to me to talk about like there's a tantric and there's a yogi. I've often felt myself approached as the yogi at tantra and modern tantra places. And then maybe when I'm in yoga circles, they're like, "Oh, you're into tantra, right?" And they see me as the tantric. I'm like, "But yeah, of course, people perceive each other like that. We try to we learn a little bit about each other and then create concepts around each other. But I feel these things are like completely not separate.
And also the Shiva
leading to each other. Actually.
The Shiva, where we say the source of the Tantra and yoga. So Shiva is the Adi Yogi, the yogis of all the yogis.
Yeah.
And he's the great tantric.
Yeah.
So the source is one.
Yeah.
And so how it cannot be separated.
Yeah.
And also it is said in India also that yoga originated originally from Tantra.
Yeah.
So it is the roots are the same.
Hatha yoga.
Yeah. Hatha yoga.
Yeah. And it's very much working with the different also sexual energy centers. Hatha yoga Pradipika says how to hold your semen. To have even certain quite wild sexual practices are in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had once in those frog pose, full body orgasm in the frog pose.
You had it?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah. And you find the teaching of the three granthis in Hatha yoga, which a lot of people these days maybe refer to as like head, heart, cock, or head, heart, balls, or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it online these days a few times.
Nice.
But in classical yoga, that would be simply your consciousness or your mind, your heart, maybe kind of combined with your solar plexus as a center, and your root and sacral, three centers that all need to be pierced by the Kundalini, by the life force. They all need to open in Hatha yoga. Yeah, they all need to be worked with.
Yes. So let's integrate and conclude our session for our listeners by sharing how people can really live an integrated life or a spiritual life in practice backed by dharma and love in action. Mm-hmm. So what would be your input on this?
I think that it's really important to say for anyone what they exactly need. I've seen a dad that I'm teaching yoga to. I've been trying to teach him meditation quite a bit, and I'm just seeing at this point I've been realizing, you know what, you are really, really busy with being a parent and running a business. Meditation is maybe not in this point of your life exactly the teaching that's going to work on you.
Just say
So
general, what worked for you, and people can take
yes,
whatever they
so
can.
that will maybe be the best way. I think ideally someone would have periods of renunciation and withdrawal at least once or twice a year for at least 3 to 7 days, where you focus on silence and meditation and a very simple life, something to return to. I think it's very important to keep cultivating this kind of state of mind. These retreats are like hitting a big gong that will ripple onward in your life, and you will need to maintain that meditative power that you've cultivated in these retreats with ongoing meditation and having a good teacher of meditation, that you really don't fool yourself about what meditation is, because there's a lot of misunderstanding, I think, about meditation. Too much to clear up now in a few minutes. And yeah, basically learning to hold the state of meditation in the most intense moments, especially with your kids and your partner and your parents, where usually people's intensity comes out the most. In the way you live a life of integrity with everything you do. Your work must be in full integrity. Your things you say, you must be really aim for constant full alignment. So you must reflect on what you do, and if it's in full alignment, you must study what yamas and niyamas say. Just get inspired by all the religions, what they say on how to be a good human, being a good neighbor, selfless service, generosity, like really making those your practice, integrity, meditation, gratitude, and having this like a foundational lifelong pillar of your life. Not sometimes, not as a period of time that you do this and then drop it. No, like really see yourself as a spiritual evolving being. No pun intended. Spiritually evolving being, and center your life around that. But I wouldn't tell anyone that. That only can come from inspiration. But that's the path, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
I pretty much agree with most of the things. Just to add also, Thomas already said good points like reflect. Where are you heading in your life? Is it really in line with what you truly wish to live? If not, pause, breathe, reflect, see what could be different options, zoom out. Because many a times we need to keep realigning our life to be where we want to be in our life, whether it is in terms of work or relationships or personal life, whatever is happening. So really zooming out, or as you said, the periods of renunciation, yeah, or periods of retreating for yourself. And it could be also on day-to-day basis, like cultivating your meditation practice. So for me, since the age of 16, I started to meditate every day. Like that used to be my morning practice. And at the age of 16, my mother, I would do this kirtan, I would play some nice chanting music, and she will come and play FM. And she would be like, my daughter has gone crazy at the age of 16 doing this. So really also having this as your day-to-day practice to build, to create a meditation practice, taking some time off during the year just for yourself, during the day also just for yourself, half an hour, 1 hour, time just for yourself in terms of meditation, play, hobby, whatever you want to explore. And listening from this reflection, listening from this meditation, what is really needed, what clarity I need to bring, which direction I want to go, what do I need as skills or something to have to be where I want to be. So, and all these things would support, and satsang, yeah, like being with the like-minded community, as you said, studying. So studying and satsang goes together. So really having niyama, sadhana, reflecting, community, friends with whom you can really talk on these kind of deep spiritual things in your life. And that is in itself supportive for us to really also have a momentum. And then of course, how sincere we are to our path of seeking and to self-realization, that fuels
Yes.
the whole journey.
Sincerity is a beautiful
Yes,
word.
yes.
Yeah. It's a good reflection. Am I sincere?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
A good
yes.
question to ask. Am I sincere? How sincere am I?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
how fast we want to go. Like for me, from the age of like, I know my whole point is only towards self-realization, I can say, or self-realization could be a big word, but only to my spirit. What is it really longing and yearning? And that ultimate freedom has been my, something has been on my periphery always, or on my surface. Even at the age of 23, I used to say, let's get done whatever you want me to do, and I want eternal freedom, I'm not coming back.
Yeah,
So how much fire you have as a seeker, or as a person to really live this integrated life, will fuel your spiritual and everything else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I resonate with everything you said, and what also really came to mind, I think, is to see ourselves as like a seed that's sprouting, and like a seed that's just sprouting is not so strong yet. So you really need to not just also find good company, but also avoid company that pulls you down,
Yes.
especially in the beginning. Later you can be there, but now focus on you, create good environment for yourself. You don't need to throw yourself in the most difficult places for your spiritual growth. Actually go somewhere where it's quite comfortable. You will be challenged enough anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and let the tree tend to that tree until it grows strong, and be don't like, it all takes time, and
Yes.
and
really,
careful tending.
and
Careful
really
tending.
careful tending.
Yeah.
Yes, like how we tend the plant also, when it
Exactly.
is sprouting and becoming a plant, and then a tree or blossoms. Yeah. And also totality.
Yeah.
Like this has been my mantra in life.
Yeah.
Like whatever you do, really do it so totally,
Uh-huh.
so it drops on its own. You don't need to drop in future. It will drop as an experience from your life, because you feel you lived it. You lived it so fully that you
Yes.
get released.
Yes.
So really being so total and live life, like
Yeah.
it's only one life we
Yeah.
get, and no need to think.
Yeah.
So really be total, be complete, be full.
Aho, because
Yeah.
also enlightenment, as some kind of peak state in the future, is reached by temporary enlightenments all the time. So if you are totally here for
Yes.
just an hour, you've had that experience that you've been looking for. It
Yes.
might not last yet,
Yes.
but that's to have that more and more.
Yes.
That's the must be the path.
Yeah.
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 You already have that very end goal here sometimes.
Yes.
Let's try to get it all the time.
Yes. Aho. So beautiful conversations.
Yeah.
Thank you, Thomas. And those listening to us, you can always send us your questions if you have more. If you want to know more about Thomas, then your Instagram is
_ Thomas Mathias
and
with
website.
THTH and thomasmathias.com, and I'm sure it will be somewhere in the description.
Yes,
Yeah,
also.
shouldn't be hard to find me.
Sure.
Yeah.
And evolvebeings.com if you want to know more about our retreats and journeys. And hopefully me and Thomas, we may do something in India next year. Let's see. And stay
love that.
tuned with us, stay connected, and aho, much love to you. And yes.